All right, everyone. Today, every single Magic the Gathering card needs to answer the last one. We are going to start this show off with Nylia the Keen-Eyed, suggested by Bob Talks Bridge. Now, Nylia the Keen-Eyed is a 4-mana, 5/6 legendary enchantment god. It's indestructible, so, not everything is going to destroy or answer Nylia. As long as your devotion to green is less than 5. Nylia isn't even a creature. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and for 3 mana, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it into your graveyard. So remember, usual rules for these types of shows: no counterspells, no split-second cards. They're sort of cheesy and stupid because you can't answer a split-second card, and the counterspells are lame because you're going to go through all the counterspells. We'll just name off like counterspell and mana drain and cryptic command. It's all silly. How does NCY work with this show? Well, you same thing. Oh, except if you want to submit an answer, you need to first post the name of the card you want to answer to. So you go Nylia into whatever you want to answer it with. Because if you don't, I don't know exactly what card you're talking about, so I will. Okay, we have Kano here with Wipe Clean now. Nylia, that's fine for me. Wipe Clean. Okay, we got Wipe Clean. We have 2-mana instant. Remove target enchantment from the game. You can also cycle it for 3 mana. So now we need an answer to Wipe Clean. It can't be a counterspell. Remember, Nylia Keen-Eyed is a legendary enchantment. It doesn't matter if it's indestructible. We can still exile the damn thing. Remember, remove target enchantment from the game means exile. So now you have to answer the wipe. You need something that would answer the Wipe Clean. David says, how are we dealing with instants and sorcery spells without counterspells? Be creative. Maybe it's... By the way, this is not a stack. It's just, what is a card that would prevent or beat the previous card? So, okay, Tresara says, Wipe Clean into Restoration Magic. Restoration Magic. Restoration Magic is a tiered card, apparently, for a white. Instant. Cure for 0. Target permanent gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. I think that would work. We also have Cura for 1 mana. Target permanent gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. You gain 3 life. And then Curaga for 4 mana. Perms you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. You gain 6 life. Now here's a weird thing. How do we respond to this thing? I don't even know. What is an answer to this thing? Does player removal count as an answering to a card? Can you remove a player? Oh, you mean like destroy target player? No. It needs to answer the card, not the player. Because remember, just assume that there's no stack. No stack whatsoever. So now I have no idea how we're going to answer Restoration Magic. This is a very weird niche card. But Mudasir is going to go for it. Okay, Nowhere to Run. Nowhere to Run is a 2-mana enchantment flash. When Nowhere to Run enters, target creature an opponent controls gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Creatures your opponents control can be the target of spells and abilities as though they didn't have hexproof. Excellent answer. Ward abilities of those creatures don't trigger. That is an amazing card. I need that card in Modern. I hate War. I hate Kappa Cannoneer. Just absolutely hate that card. Kappa Cannoneer can Kappa to hell, as far as I'm concerned. Look at that. Tresaro was also thinking of Nowhere to Run, so partial credit to Tresaro. But needs to be a creature. That's fine. That's totally fine. Okay, now we have Nowhere to Run. When it enters the battlefield. But it's still an enchantment. Okay, we have got Marcio with Nowhere to Run into Song of the Dryads. Song of the Dryads, a 3-mana aura. Enchant permanent. Enchanted permanent is a colorless forest land. So they'll still get the ETB out of Nowhere to Run, but they'll lose the opponent's control can be the target of spells or abilities as though they didn't have hexproof. A very weird answer. This is until end of turn. Oh, no. Is this permanent? Oh, it's permanent for as long as that thing's in play. Oh, it's not like Dress Down, which was like just a temporary thing. It disappears afterwards. All right, Song of the Dryads. Remember, you do need to give your answer in the form of the card that's already you see, and then your answer to it. Because if you just say abrade what? Like abrade this aura? First off, you can't abrade this aura. Was it abrade? Like, what am I abrading here? I don't even think you can abrade anything. So this wasn't actually an answer to a single card that we've looked at. Remember, abrade is only artifacts, not enchantments. Okay, Kano with Song of the Dryads and Opalescence. What? Each other global enchantment is a creature with power and toughness, each equal to its converted mana cost. It's still an enchantment. Enchanted permanent is a colorless for... Oh, what? Like, it's gonna... Oh. So what? Does this fall off the permanent, and then do auras fall off the permanents that they're on and become a creature? Is that how this works? Each non-aura, each other global... Oh, yeah, okay, hold on. Let's read the Oracle text. Each other non-aura enchantment is a creature in addition to its other types and has base power. Okay, then. So it's only the non-auras that would turn into creatures. Disqualified. Super disqualified. Opalescence specifies non-aura. Well, not really. Okay, a little grace to Kano. The original text, the ancient scripture, says other global enchantments. Like, I mean, if you just started playing this game, even within the last 10 years, you may not know what the hell a global enchantment is. I mean, only the Oracle text would save you there. Remember, your answers need to be in the form of the card that's in the card that we see plus the card you want to respond to. So I'm looking for who wants to respond to Song of the Dryads. Exactly, Elwinter. What the hell is a global enchantment? Some people might say, I've been playing this game for like 20 years. I don't know what a global enchantment is. Leon Corgi, Song of the Dryads into Spreading Seas? Does that change any... What would that do? I don't think that changes anything. So what? You enchanted... The thing is a forest land. The enchanted permanent becomes a colorless forest land. Oh, you're turning into a... You're turning from forest to an island, sure. If somehow that matters. That's just weird. We're just, yeah, we fixed the mana. We either fixed the mana, or we didn't fix the mana. We screwed their mana. Maybe they wanted that forest. That's really funny. Ancient scripture for ancient humans. Yeah, opalescence. It would almost make sense. Or, I mean, I could see a world where they made opalescence in such a way that the auras fell off and became creatures. Like, that sort of makes sense to me. But it wasn't the case. Okay, we've got David Hauer, historic ban list stops Spreading Seas. That doesn't count. We're playing kitchen table magic here today. Corbinek Spreading Seas into Serene Heart. All right, Serene Heart is a 2-mana instant. Destroy all local enchantments. Okay, again, the ancient scripture. This specifically only destroys auras. So if you have opalescence out, this is worthless versus that. Funny enough. Yeah, okay, we destroy all the local enchantments, including our Spreading Seas. How do you answer this card? So we need some card that isn't going to be affected, or your enchantments are indestructible, or some crap like that. Trisara says auras immediately go to the graveyard if they're not enchanting anything, so it would be a rules nightmare. Oh, okay, I guess so. Makes some sense over there. By the way, for anyone watching the show, today is a really good day to refresh your stream so that you're like up to date on the very latest cards. So you're not like 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds behind everybody else. Because otherwise, the people who are watching the stream live have an advantage over the people watching the stream with a giant lag. Yep, back to indestructible. I feel like we're stuck in a loop. Well, we'll see if we can break the loop. Remember, we can't name the same card twice. I mean, same rules apply. Open the vault after Serene Heart. Let's look. Let's open the vault. Open the vaults. A 6-mana sorcery. Return all artifact and enchantment cards from the graveyard to the battlefield under their owner's control. That is a fantastic answer. We're not stuck in any loop. The loop has been broken. And this actually opens design space for the show because we now have entered the graveyard. We have assumed that our stuff has been destroyed, but it came back with Open the Vaults. This is a totally legitimate way to continue today's show. When I return old MR, don't worry about your stuff getting blown up. They can come back. See, when the vaults are empty, everyone is rich. I don't know if that's entirely true. If the vaults are empty, everyone's poor. But if everyone's poor, everyone's rich, I suppose. If that's the standard, wherever the hell the vaults are. Cannot counter, but can return cards to owner's hand. Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, we can. No, we're not gonna be playing with any of those cards. What's it called? That's like, yeah, return back to hand. None of that crap. No memory lapses. None of that weird stuff. Okay, open the vaults into rest in peace. Ah. You had to go there. We're back to enchantments now. Rest in peace. 2-mana enchantment. When rest in peace enters the graveyard, exile all graveyards. If a card or token would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Back to enchantment world. Good, because remand is the worst. No, you know what's the worst? The white remand. I don't remember what the name is. It's the same damn thing, except it doesn't actually counter anything. It returns back to your hand. And still draws a card. And into the loop again. Yeah, but it's... Oh, that is true. Okay, so there is technically an ETB on Rest in Peace. When Rest in Peace enters the battlefield, exile all graveyards. You do have to declare that trigger. If you don't... well, I mean, technically, the stuff in the graveyard doesn't get exiled. Technically. Okay, we have Rest in Peace into Elish. So we have Rest in Peace into Elish Norn, Mother of Machines. By the way, no card yet still apply for anyone that doesn't have a card yet. Mommy! We have 5 mana, 4/7, Phyrexian Praetor, Elish Norn. Vigilance. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. But if we have Elish Norn on the battlefield, permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger. So it's funny. So future cards with Rest in Peace, they still actually go to the... they would still get exiled, but the current cards in the graveyard, they do not. Or Elish Norn says, no, you're not allowed to. Yeah, we're out of enchantment hell for now. Remember, everyone, put the current card that you want to respond to plus the card you got to put the current card plus the card you want to respond with. The Norny Mommy. What the hell? Norny? I get okay. Yeah, it's called Norn. Corbinek with the end. Was it like? Does that end the turn? Hold on. Too many the end cards. Or, huh? Okay, there's no card called The End. It doesn't exist. Or is there like a card called End? Okay, Archangel with Innocent Blood. That's fine. Very, very situational. Depends on the opponent only having one creature in play. Black Sorcery. Each player sacrifices a creature. It exists. The End? Is it just the... I didn't find it. I even put the exclamation point in front. Or was it The End and I'm supposed to put an exclamation point at the back of it? Well, the whole thing is messed up. I can't find this thing. Anyway, you've been missed. Oh, Innocent Blood is the current card you all have to beat. And you can get cards like this and more at FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to get my Magic the Gathering cards. Deal of the week. What is the deal of the week this week? It's for 20% off all board games, whether it be Azul, Tickets to Ride Europe, Arkham Horror, and many more. Don't forget, hey, there is a Fusion Open coming September 12th to 13th. I'll definitely be there. Combating in Modern and probably Commander. I'm going to be slinging in some Commander for the first time in a long time. And also, Hobbit is out. It's no longer spoiled. Get your Hobbitses and Smogs and many more at FusionGamingOnline.com with coupon code Nikachu because you get 5% off all your purchases and you support the channel. You can also use that coupon code to get all these wonderful cards that are on the stack today. Many cards to get at FusionGamingOnline.com. Okay, we have David Howard, Innocent Blood into Forbidden Orchard. That's a great idea. Okay, now we're starting to get creative. We're getting a little creative over here. Hold on, does it work? Forbidden Orchard, land. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. Whenever you tap Forbidden Orchard for mana, target opponent creates a 1/1 color spirit creature token. This is not an answer for you. Like, you do not get the card. Okay, so I thought it was creative. This doesn't work. I see where you're going, but you're not gonna get the token to protect yourself, right? You're gonna save someone else's ass, but not your own. So okay, that's actually not gonna work. Well, I assumed we were stopping our own Innocent Blood. Not what? But you're not even stopping your own Innocent Blood. You're still going to lose your own creature. Forbidden Orchard doesn't give you a token. You give the token to somebody else. So like, we need to help ourselves here. Okay, Bab has, well, I'm going to go with Bab. I like the idea where we're going. Raise the alarm. That's a cool way. Okay, Raise the Alarm is a great answer to Innocent Blood. 2 mana instant, create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. We're going to need a lot more sacrifice effects out there. I'm helping you, opponents. You're helping somebody, yeah. Okay, raise it. And from here, there should be a lot of ways to deal with... maybe there's even some ways to deal with specifically tokens out there. Hexenort with Raise the Alarm into Pest Control. Pest Control is a 2 mana sorcery. Destroy all non-land permanents with mana value 1 or less. Also cycling for 2 mana. Specifically, I think built to beat up tokens. Screw them tokens. Yeah. No matter how big or small. Okay, we have Fan Factor 1. Pest Control into Blood for the Blood God. Why Blood God? This is a 11 mana instant. Costs 1 less to cast for each creature that died this turn. Discard your hand, then draw 8 cards. Blood for the Blood God deals 8 damage to each opponent. Exile Blood for the Blood God. Is this really an answer? Costs 1 less to cast for each creature that died this turn. Discard your hand, then draw 8 cards. You know what? I'll accept it. Technically didn't deal with pest control, but is like an incredibly good answer after it. Yeah, card that answers the last one. I'll allow it. Gives you, yeah, but the value is insane. I'm just gonna make a good judgment call how good that value was. This is a lot of value. You're getting 8 cards. That's no small potatoes over here. Answer? No. Synergy? Yes. Blood for the Blood Gods. Okay, we have Stormy Cat. Blood God into Orcish Bowmasters. Ooh. Orcish Bowmasters. One of my most hated cards in all of Magic the Gathering. I hate you, Orcish Bowmasters. Hate everything you represent. I'm all for the Blood God people. Let them draw their cards. Bowmasters, 2 mana 1/1 flash. Enters the battlefield, and whenever an opponent draws a card except for the first one they draw on each of their draw steps, it deals 1 damage to any target, and then you amass an Orcs 1. Goddamn annoying, stupid little creature. Okay, we have Terror P. It's a hell of a name. Flare of Fortitude. Flare of Fortitude is a 4 mana instant. You may sacrifice a non-token white creature rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Until end of turn, your life total can't change, and permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible. Hexproof and indestructible, so you cannot. Who's gonna until end of turn? Your life total can't change, so you can't pick me off with Orcish Bowmasters, and also you can't target my own stuff. On the other hand, you can have a giant orc, one way or another. Oh, we have the Flare of Fortitude. When did they print this? I never heard of this card. Oh, this is the Flare cycle. I remember blue. Now that I think of it, I don't know any of the other flares. I don't know the red flare, the green flare, the black one. I don't know anything from the Flare cycle. So hold on. So white's the Force in Modern Horizons 1, that was a huge dud. But then Solitude was a huge win in Modern Horizons 2. And then Flare of Fortitude, I guess, is another dud. This really doesn't look that bad, too. I believe you can still be targeted. You just absorb the damage. Well, no. Well, I mean, okay, us. We're indestructible. So our life total can't change. Yeah, so I guess we can be targeted, but nothing happens. Brandon with Flare into Farewell. What does that do? I don't know if there's an answer. Exile all artifacts, creatures, enchantments, and graveyards. Permanents you control gain hexproof. This is technically not an answer to this thing. Rakdos with Banefire. It needs like directly answer like the card itself, or like interact favorably against the card. So we have a red X sorcery. Banefire deals X damage to any target, and if X is 5 or more, the spell can't be countered. And guess what? The damage can't be prevented. You're gonna get hit by that X damage one way or another, and you're gonna like it. You're gonna like you gotta feel the pain. Fan Factor says pitch cards are either busted or useless. Basically, there's not many mediocre pitch cards. It's either super busted or doesn't do anything at all. But your life total can't change. Oh, this damage still... Oh, so this is not the same thing? Damage cannot be prevented, doesn't work against life, can't change. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Okay, so this is disqualified. I actually would assume that they were on the same level. But that's just Magic the Gathering for you. They word things just slightly differently, and like, nah, sorry, that doesn't work. No, it's not the same. Yeah, it said you can't be. It says you can't be destroyed. It says it's indestructible, but it can still be sacrificed. Sacrifice, yeah, can't always win. Okay, how are we interacting with this Flare of Fortitude? Oh, Christopher B's on Banefire. Sorry, we're back on Flare of Fortitude. Your answers need to be in the form of the previous card and the new card. So Connor is the first one. Sorry, Kano. Shay Cormac. Okay, Shay Cormac is a 2-mana 1/1. For 1 mana permanents, your opponents control lose hexproof, indestructible, protection, shroud, and ward until end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes the target of a spell or ability you control, put a bounty counter on that creature. And whenever a creature with a bounty counter on it dies, put 2 +1/+1 counters on your Shay Cormac. That definitely works. It doesn't interact with the life can't change part, but it does interact with the hexproof part and the indestructible part. So they're going to be very destructible. They can die instantly. They can die to Doomblade again. Where is this card? Oh, this card came out in Assassin's Creed. This card looks good. This looks like it should be a staple in every commander deck that plays black and white. Okay, next we got... Does anyone have a good answer to Shay? Which should be a billion. Should be a million ways to answer Shay. Don't forget to refresh your browsers. You want to stay up to date to the latest of today's show. Shay Cormac is an assassin turned Templar. What is that supposed to mean? Nolan! Shay Cormac to Agony Warp. Never heard of this card. 2-mana instant. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn, or target creature gets -0/-3 until end of turn. Is there any cards out there that say, you know, the power and toughness can't change? Because I don't like this. This mechanic is so weak and so underutilized anyway that I don't think they've ever needed. Magic has never had the necessity to design a card that says power and toughness can't change. But that sounds like there should be a card like that, shouldn't there? Like some sort of artifact. 5 mana. The power and toughness of creatures cannot change. Would a creature with more than 3 toughness count as an answer to this? Yes. Yes, it would, actually. I would absolutely count any creature that has more than 3 toughness and answer this stupid thing. Is flipping up a morph count? Not really. Well, yeah, I guess we could count it. Okay, we got. Remember, you got to name the current card. Okay, so we have Terror P with Agni Warp into Rules Lawyer. No, Silver Border doesn't count for today. Sorry about that. Unless you super chat. Super chatters get to break the rules. As is the standard on... Oh, here we go. Beefy Taco with Giant Growth. Simple. Oops, it's simple enough. It's a simple spell that still works. This art is hideous. I'm not tolerating this thing. This is a cool Giant Growth. Okay, great. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have this one. For anyone that doesn't know what a Giant Growth is, here, we'll take this one. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. And it's got a squirrel on it, just for toads out there. Can't believe the stream is pay to win. It always has been. Every Nikachu MTG stream is technically pay to win. It's the golden rule. Whoever has the gold makes the rules, for the most part. The Doug Way says someone should super chat into "Look at me, I'm the DCI," and then nothing will be able to counter it. Well, there's got to be something. Jackal, Giant Growth into Overkill. Overkill is a 3-mana instant. Target creature gets -0, -9,999 until end of turn. That'll do it. Screw your +3 toughness. Man. I can't believe how often the characters in like Final Fantasy would take some obscene amount of damage. And they're like, I don't know, did they lose the life instantly? Or was it like losing in real time? I couldn't remember. I think they lost the life instantly. In Earthbound, if you took like 9,999 damage, your life total would be flickering down as the game progresses, and you'd have to do something before your life total went to 0. Oh, we've got... Who has no card yet? I think everyone's got a card, to be honest. That is overkill indeed. Will Anderson says, I find all of the crossovers, with the exception of Lord of the Rings, which feel like a Magic plane, to be very dumb. I actually didn't mind the Final Fantasy set. You know, so long as there's, like, magic on the plane, it doesn't feel that bad to me. I like Final Fantasy. Like, there's magic in Final Fantasy. Even has the word fantasy in the name. Let's take Raktus's Overkill, Hercule's Final Meditation. She liked to meditate, didn't she? Hercule's Final Meditation is a 7-mana instant. As long as it's not your turn, the spell costs 3 more to cast. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. End the turn. Ah, we have an end the turn card. How do we beat this, though? How do we beat end the turn cards? Is this even a clean answer? Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hand? Does this really answer? Target creature gets... You know what? I'm not going to count this because you're technically, like, bouncing your own card. I don't really like this as an answer. Target creature gets... You got to answer the overkill. I mean, okay, bouncing the card sort of makes some sense. Nola says, like, no card, just want to pay to win. Well, you should have suggested a card. Split second not allowed. No split second cards, because they're all cheesy, and you can't interact with them. David Howard's like, phew, I was sweating. Okay, we got Hexenor Overkill into Swift Reconfiguration. It's a white aura, flash, enchant a creature or vehicle. Enchanted permanent is a vehicle artifact with crew 5 and it loses all other card types. What an amazing answer! So so we dodge losing all our toughness because it's not even a creature anymore, it's a vehicle. I've become more machine than man in order to survive the devastating damage, I suppose. But this is probably this. You know what? Isn't this supposed to be like a blue card? Isn't this a blue thing to do? Or maybe not. Maybe this is still a black thing to do. I always feel like blue is the color that messes with the power and toughness on creatures and stuff. I'm 3 for 3 with bad cards. They just have to be cleaner answers, that's all. Terror Piece, swift configuration to crash and burn. Crash and burn, a 4-mana instant. Choose one. Destroy target vehicle. Oh no! Crash and burn deals 6 damage to target creature or planeswalker. That's definitely gonna work. Just like renting with Mana Traders works. Your ability to play any deck, any format you want on Magic Online. Say it ain't so. It is true though. And if you would like to play with a lot of decks, it's way cheaper than buying a deck, selling it, buying another one, selling it. That's frustrating. Just rent the damn cards on Mana Traders. You have access to every single card, every configuration you can possibly think of. Don't worry about committing to a particular card before you play it. You rent everything with Mana Traders. Use a coupon code Nikachu_AOY for 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. And back to our regularly scheduled programming. Big Nate doesn't have a card. Crash and burn with Blossoming Defense. Blossoming Defense is a green instant. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains hexproof until end of turn. We're in the hexproof realm. It also has to survive the 6 damage. Deal 6 damage target creature or planeswalker. Oh no, well yeah. You could answer to that as well. Anyway, we're gonna give our creature hexproof. We're also technically, I mean, if we're we can survive the 6 damage part with Blossoming Defense, we could also crew our vehicle and then also give it hexproof in response. If it's a vehicle, no? Well, we can imagine we crewed the damn thing. Remember, there is a second part to Crash and Burn. Crash and Burn deals 6 damage to target creature or planeswalker, which we just need some answer to some part of the last card. It's not a creature anymore. What if we activate it into one? Why do we make a vehicle if we can't crew the damn thing? We can use our imagination a little bit. Jackal is waiting so hard for this one. Blossoming Defense into Shadow Spear. Hexproof. Hold on. Yeah, we're giving hexproof. But hexproof, screw your hexproof. Permanents your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Also equipped for 2 mana. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample and lifelink. Very beautiful. Shadow Spear, Shadow Spear. I think I still need to buy one of these. Do I own one? I don't think I own one of these cards. I think I'm supposed to own one. Basically, every blue deck, or sorry, every Urza Saga deck needs to have at least one in their deck for EDH. Who does not have a card? Nola wants to respond to the last one. Blossoming Defense to table flipping because I quit. Okay, we're going to... Super chats are now retroactively going backwards. Okay, we got a super chat. To table flipping? Is this a real card, or are you just BSing me here? No, this card doesn't exist. Thank you very much for the super chat, Nolan. Okay, well, where are we? We're on Shadow Spear. Okay, we have to virtually donate these things. We'll give one to... I don't know if Matthew Green's got a card yet. Shadow Spear into Stifle. This is a terrible, terrible answer. Like, you're literally just stopping one activation of Shadow Spear. It's literally... I mean, I'm gonna count it, but it's like the most garbage of garbage answers. Blue instant, counter target activated or triggered ability. Like, if I'm the Shadow Spear player, I'm like, okay. Activate again. It's not even very expensive. Oh, it's a counterspell. It's actually a disqualified. Okay, hold on. No counterspells allowed. It is a... No counterspells are allowed. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's also a counter. It was a bad answer and it was illegal. No counterspells are split second on this show. It just ruins the show. Nagi! Welcome. Or sorry, Nagisa. I like this one because I don't know what the hell this is. Shadow Spear into defensive formation. Okay, you can get Nolan's super chat. Defensive formation is a white enchantment. Instead of the attacking player, you choose how creatures attacking you deal combat damage. What? Is this some like count? Oh, it counters the trample. Okay. I'll allow it. It's very weird though. What a weird card. Rather than the attacking player, you assign the combat. Oh yeah, because now these days we can assign all combat damage to like the creature. We can overpile on the creature. David Hauer. They changed the rules to how damage is dealt. So like if you have trample, you're allowed, like let's say you have a 5 power creature attacking into a 2 toughness creature because they block with a 2 toughness creature. You have the option to put 2 damage on the toughness creature and put the excess damage directly at the opponent, or you can put like all 5 damage onto the creature so that they can't protect it with a giant growth. It's a bit weird, but like that's how it is. Okay, hold on. We might have to go back. With super chats, we're allowed. We go back in time. Redemption: Shadow Spear into green slime. Okay, we have a new answer to Shadow Spear. The new card is Green Slime, a 3-mana 2/2 ooze with flash. When Green Slime enters the battlefield, counter target activated or triggered ability from an artifact or enchantment source. If a permanent's ability is countered this way, destroy that permanent. Holy moly! That's interesting. It reminds me of, what is it, Teferi's Response? It's green Teferi's Response. Also has Foretell for a green. What a fascinating card. Was this your card, Bab? Yes, you need to counter any part of the card. That's right. Any part of the card works. It's a counterspell. It's an ETB, so I'm gonna allow it. I'm gonna count counterspells as anything that is on the stack, like a counterspell on the stack. I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna allow this one because it's a permanent in play. Voltland says, so when Super Chat rewound the time, do we continue with the Super Chat? We continue with the Super Chat card. So you can, like, basically reset the clock with Super Chats. Which also encourages the Super Chats. Because otherwise, people would Super Chat, and maybe we've skipped the card already. But no, we can go back in time, and they are now the new timeline. Although, it might get really messy if... It might be really messy if the current card gets a super chat, but then someone super chats a card in the past, so I go backwards and then we go forwards, but then we're not on the same timeline anymore. So fairies are in play. Oh yeah, fairies are always in play. ETB's not on the stack anymore. What do you mean? Okay, we have Archangel New with Time Stop versus Green Slime. End the turn. All right, so we've dealt with the ETB. How do you deal with Time Stop? This is an awkward card to beat. And so the multiverse was born. That's right. New show idea, messing with the timeline. How does that show work? Or are you just talking about like renaming this show? How does that change anything? Time Stop into Nexus of Fate, taking an extra turn. End the turn. That doesn't really answer this. But I don't know how to answer this. Time Stop into Ultima. I don't get the exile all spells and abilities. That player whose turn is discards down to their maximum hand size, damage heals, and this turn and end the turn effects end. Oh, I see. This is like stealing someone's turn. Okay, do you know what? That actually works. I like that with Fornadan. Nexus of Fate. I didn't get the idea. But now I see. Okay. You're trying to end my turn? No, 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 no. I'm going to get another turn out of all this with Nexus of Fate. I'm going to get an extra turn. And by the way, when Nexus of Fate would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, reveal Nexus of Fate and shuffle it into its owner's library. Again, I might even get another turn after this one. I just have to be so lucky to keep top decking Nexus of Fate. Yeah, that's a great answer. I like that. That's really creative. Charging Badger with Nexus of Fate into Ugin's Nexus. Ugin's Nexus, a 5-mana legendary artifact. If a player would begin an extra turn, they skip that turn instead. If Ugin's Nexus would be put into a graveyard from the battlefield, instead exile it and take an extra turn after this one. You know, this card almost looked fair. Like, okay, we're going to bring balance to the game. No one gets extra turns, like the annoying prick that they are. But if it gets blown up, then we are the prick that gets, like, the extra turns. It's so rude. Do you know what's interesting? If it be put into the graveyard, you can't... So you got to make sure that this thing doesn't get destroyed. Otherwise, you sort of activate its trap card. No one can, like, blow this thing up. Steal... Okay, I'm going to allow this because I know what you're talking about. Steal artifact. You steal artifact, 4 mana. You control enchanted artifact. Does it answer it, though? If a player... You know what? It doesn't technically answer it because the ability is still on the battlefield. Like, you too also cannot take any extra turns. So I'm actually not going to say Steal Artifact is a solid answer to this because it's a static effect for the most part. Wow, that is obnoxious. It is obnoxious. We got Rakdos with Ugin's Nexus into Titania's Song. What a lovely melody. Titania's Song is a 4-mana enchantment. Each non-creature artifact loses all abilities and becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness, each equal to its mana value. If the enchantment leaves the battlefield, this effect continues until end of turn. It loses all abilities and become... Oh, it's just permanently. Oh, wow, that's a great idea. Very, very nice. Very, very, very nice. Okay, we got Titania's Song. Christopher B is like, you get the turn. You see, Christopher B, today is a really good show. Do not be watching on a lag, because your comments make absolutely no sense on topic. Okay, Phil Goad, you're gonna get the other half of that super chat. Titania's Song into Arc Paladin. We got Horse. Oh no, it's a human knight though. 5 mana for a 3/3 with flanking. As Pentarch Paladin comes into play, choose a color. And for a 2 mana tap, destroy target permanent of the chosen color. So I suppose we're going to choose green, and we will going to blow that damn thing up. And Nola's actually going to go back in time. Titania's Song versus Farewell. All nodes? What does that mean? Oh, Farewell. All modes, you mean? Okay, finally. This time, Farewell actually works. I think someone tried to say Farewell earlier, but it didn't make any sense at the time. Exile all enchantments. Christopher B says, I was watching live. The comment got broken because the user interface stinks. Oh, weird. Christopher B is the time traveler here. He's from the past. He's sending us messages from the past. As if we, which is not particularly useful because there's a lot of messages from the past. Okay, we need, yeah, and back to Farewell. Steve Cooper hasn't got a card yet. Farewell into Reprieve. Okay, that technically is going to count because it's not actually a counter spell. Reprieve, 2 mana instant, return target spell to its owner's hand, and also you get to draw a card. This card also should probably be banned. Hold on, no, did I say earlier, like, none of the return... Oh, no, actually, hold on, sorry. Earlier, I mentioned none of these cards. Sorry, Steve Cooper. Like, it's just a cheesy answer to, like, everything, you know? So, nothing, no spells that, like, return permanents back to hand. They're just no good. Okay, we're back to Farewell. Woot, I can use Farewell again. Farewell into Joel Real. What is this? Joel Real? Rail? Empress of Beasts? Does it say everything can't be exiled? 5 mana for a 3/3, and for 3 mana tap, discard 2 cards. Until end of turn, all lands target player controls are 3/3 creatures that are still lands. I won't count that one. It's like, hold on, is it a good answer? Let's see. Okay, let's read this. Target player. Okay, I'll count this. The idea being, we turn all our opponent's creatures into lands, and then if they exile all the creatures in play, they also exile their lands in play, so the lands are gone. I'll count it. It sounds like a big enough beating in response to a Farewell to work. Although I have to admit that whoever's playing Farewell into a Joriel is sort of a moron. They're big time. That was big time boo-boo. How does Null Rod stop this? Not an artifact. Oh, sorry. No, yeah, Null Rod's anti-artifact. But you can't respond after they choose the land? What do you mean? Exile all creatures. You can exile. You turn all their stuff into lands. They'll lose all their creatures. Okay, hold on. We got Drana and Linvala, the Lord Joriel. Drana and Linvala. But you can't respond to the creature mode. Why not? They have a creature mode. Let's say they say exile all creatures. In response, discard. It's not like a sorcery speed thing. Discard 2 cards until end of turn. All lands target player controls are 3/3 creatures that are still lands, and then they get exiled. Okay, and then we have Drana and Linvala. Flying, Vigilance. Activated abilities of creatures your opponent's control cannot be activated. Drana and Linvala have all activated abilities of all creatures your opponents control. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to activate those abilities. Pretty sick. It's pretty cool. Yeah, these modes, by the way, yeah, when it comes to like things like Farewell, they have to choose the modes that are on the stack when they cast the spell. So that will be face-up information, just like Cryptic Command, or any command for that matter. This is basically Farewell Command. Farewell Command, Christopher B. Undead Slayer. Coming to slay the Drana. 3 mana, 2/2 Human Cleric. And for a white, tap. Exile target skeleton, vampire, or zombie. That can't work, though. That's an activated ability. How can I activate abilities when Drana says activated abilities of my creatures don't work? All right, so that doesn't work, yeah. Can't use an activated ability to slay a creature that prevents us to play our activated abilities. That doesn't work. Okay, so what do we got? Nola with Drana and Linvala versus World Slayer. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, destroy all permanents other than World Slayer. I guess that works. You're gonna blow up everything else. All right, we got a World Slayer on the battlefield. It's funny. Technically not indestructible, but destroys all their destroys the creature too. Oh no! Our own creature goes to the bin. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage, would blow up that creature too. We got Draconic World Slayer into Parapet Thrasher. Stream needs more dragons. You're right. Hey, 4 mana for a 4/3 dragon flying. Whenever one or more dragons you control deal combat damage to an opponent, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Destroy target artifact that an opponent controls. This creature deals 4 damage to each other opponent and exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. Fizzer, remember all your answers need to be in the form of... finally a card for a braid. All the answers have to be in the form of the current card and the card you want to interact with. Just in case you're a little too slow. Can we answer combat? Absolutely, you can answer it with fogs. Fog away. Fog them up. We have... Okay, Marcio with Thrasher into Ego Erasure. Ego Eraser is a 3-mana Kindred Shapeshifter instant. Changeling. Creatures target player controls get -2, -0, and lose all creature types until end of turn. I don't know if that's answering this. Whenever one or more dragons, like if this has a 4 power, so it's not even going to stop this thing. I don't think that's an answer to this. It just doesn't do enough. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. They lose all creature types. This is a dragon. Whenever one or more dragons you control. Wow, this actually is an amazing answer. Yeah, this is a fantastic. Yeah, it stops being a dragon. It's not a dragon anymore. I didn't catch that. That's nice. I was too focused on the -2 part. That's really cool. Oh, that's creative. That's Magic the Gathering for you folks. That's a 16-cent card. Just waiting to line up versus someone who's playing a dragon deck. Yeah, blunts the assault and takes the types away. I like that. It's really good. Christopher B with Ego Erasure and Shields. Shields of Velis Vel. Shields of Velis Vel is also a Kindred instant with Changeling. Creatures target player controls get +0/+1 and gain all creature types until end of turn. I'm gonna counter your no creature types anymore with gaining all creature types now. Okay, hold on. Nola's gonna time warp us. Parapet Thrasher doesn't work because it's a combat trigger on a combat trigger. What are you talking about? No, whole point. No. The point is, this is just an artifact on the battlefield. So let's say it did its thing. It blew everything up. And then on a following turn, Parapet Thrasher ends up dealing damage. They can destroy the artifact. It's just a matter of answering, not necessarily answering its ability in the moment, but an answer to it eventually. So it does work. Let's give them super chats away. No, you didn't have to respond to the trigger. It's okay. It's okay. You just have to respond to any aspect of the card, so long as it's an answer to it. Yeah, World Slayer is a combat trigger. Well, consider it this way. World Slayer also could have been just an artifact that hit the battlefield and didn't do anything. Like, it didn't even attack. You didn't even equip the thing in the first place. Okay, let's give a super chat to Terror P. Shields into Vader's Crusade. Destroy all goblins. You want to have all creature types? Fine. You have all creature types, you moron. I'm going to blow up all your goblins. And all your creatures are goblins. Does it target player creatures? Target player controls get +1/+1. Yeah, and they gain all creature types. That's funny. I'm gonna blow up, and everything became a goblin. Technically, very technically. Okay, Archangel New. Everybody lives. You get the second super chat. Second half of Nolan's super chat. Corbinic, not the goblins. Then we're gonna save all the goblins. Everybody lives, a 2-mana instant. All creatures gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Players gain hexproof. Players gain hexproof until end of turn. Players can't lose life this turn, and players can't lose the game or win the game this turn. Wow! What is going on here? How do we answer this card? Does exactly what it says on the tin. That's right. I guess you can answer this card with just like another card that says stuff loses hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Read the flavor text. Everybody lives, Rose. Just this once. Everybody lives. The Ninth Doctor. Means nothing to me. I just never seen this damn. I've never seen the show, except that one Titanic episode. Because I was so curious how like the Titanic could even work its way into the future. And so I watched one episode of Doctor Who, and I'm like, okay, this show's not for me. I can't watch this. A little too nonsensical, in my opinion. We've already done Shadowspear, unfortunately. It's been done. Looks like we're going back in time. Nola is the time traveler here. Tevadar's crusade into Bogart shenanigans. Hold on, so we have Tevadar's crusade, and you want now Bogart shenanigans. I don't know. Oh, I don't know how to spell shenanigans, unfortunately. Bogart shenanigans. Finally found it. I don't know how to spell Bogart either. Next, okay, so it's a 3 mana kindred enchantment goblin. Whenever another goblin you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may have Bogart shenanigans deal 1 damage to target player. That's very rude. Okay, so we lose all our goblins, but you know what? I'm gonna smack you probably for a huge chunk of damage. Bingo, Nikachu can't spell. Well, neither could Nola, okay? Nola also couldn't spell, because it's B-O-G-G. It's double G. At first, but to be fair, I was misspelling the shenanigans part wrong 4 or 5 times. And screwed myself. Okay, I don't think Christopher B got a card yet. Shenanigans into Blessed Sanctuary. Blessed Sanctuary, a 5 mana... okay, a 5 mana enchantment. Prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to you and creatures you control. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white unicorn creature token. What is this? Jumpstart products don't come with tokens, so the unicorn token doesn't exist in paper. It's a fail, Wizards of the Coast. It's a fail on you. What, you didn't make tokens anymore? And we got Gillum, Blessed Sanctuary into Questing Beast. Oh yeah, you're preventing the you can't prevent my combat. You can prevent a lot of combat damage, but not from Questing Beast. Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control, it cannot be prevented. And whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls. Yeah, Clutter says, Questing Beast is the answer for a lot of things that can be a show idea. That is true. It's true. Keldius, your answer needs to be in the form of the current card plus the card you want to respond with. The Proto Gamer with Ichthyomorphosis. Ichthyomorphosis. Is it L? Does it start with L? What if I look up morphosis? Oh, see, you didn't spell this one either. It's Ichthyomorphosis. Ichthyomorphosis is a 3-mana aura enchant creature. Enchant creature, it loses all abilities and is a blue fish with base power and toughness 0/1. The poor Questing Beast. Snakes MTG with Questing Beast into Doomblade. I'm surprised we haven't seen any Doomblade. There's probably not a lot of opportunities for Doomblade, and there it was. And now it's gone. Corbinick says, Questing Beast doesn't work. Blessed only prevents non-combat damage. Whoa, 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 whoa! Interesting. Prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to you and creatures you control. That is true! Okay, hold on. So the Questing Beast, unfortunately, is actually disqualified. Okay, so we have to go back to Blessed Sanctuary. We missed it. We missed that it doesn't work. Hey, no time trial without Super Chat. It was illegal! It was illegal. We have to go back in time. Questing Beast broke the physics of our stack. So we're at Blessed Sanctuary again. Okay, here we go. Bone Crusher Giant. Because it's got Stomp. Damage can't be prevented this turn, and it deals 2 damage to any target. All right, it's pretty good answer. Gilliam's like, no takesies, backsies. I'm not going to continue the show off of illegal cards. Today is a pretty good show for people that like are actually also just learning the game, because you sort of learn those nuances between interactions of cards. R.I.P. Unicorn. Okay, we'll have one more. What's a good answer to Bone Crusher Giant, if there is an answer to this thing? By the way, Bone Crusher Giant, whenever it becomes the target of a spell or ability, whenever it becomes the target of a spell, Bone Crusher Giant deals 2 damage to that spell's controller, so you can use abilities on it. Bone Crusher Giant doesn't work because Blessed prevents non-combat damage. Hold on. Prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to you and creatures you control. Damage can't be prevented this turn. No, this works. Because it says damage, so it's interacting with the prevent all non-combat damage. So when you stomp someone, now they can't prevent squat that turn, right? Yeah, Stomp is non-combat damage, but its ability, damage can't be prevented this turn, now interacts versus prevent all non-combat damage, because you can't prevent anything anymore. Can't wins over can. Stomp works. Stomp them out. And the Proto Gamer says, let's take 3 damage. Let's take some damage. We're going to lightning bolt the Bone Crusher Giant. Why not? Oh, it's Thur. Deals 3 damage to any target, which can be a Bone Crusher Giant, because it's Pt.3 toughness. All right, that's it for today. Hope everyone enjoyed today's show. It's a fun show. We have a lot of fun with these shows. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Also, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're ever wondering where I am on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're just there in the evening, hanging out for the evening crew. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. Thank you so much, my coffee crew, for being here today. Hope you enjoyed it. Little Dead Fly, Steve Cooper, Gillum, Voltlin, Kano. We got Clutter Arranger, Marcio, Matthew Green, Mudasir, Christopher B, and many more. My coffee crew, thanks so much. Keep brewing them coffees, everyone, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.